Welcome to our episode of Girl Talk. I'm here today with my friends from St. Mary and St. Antonia's Church in Ridgewood, Queens. Welcome, girls. Hi. Today we'll be speaking about the issue of texting, the positives and negatives of it. We've seen in our society today that almost all communication has to do with texting. Many people don't even call each other anymore. Is this how you and your friends communicate?
Somewhat.
Can you elaborate?
We text mainly, but texting is like the main source of communication.
Maria, how about you and your friends?
Texting.
Throughout the day or every other day?
Every once in a while.
So every day?
And I guess so.
Okay. Would you say that since texting has become popular, you've spoken on the phone less?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that that's somewhat hindered communications between people?
Well, maybe some things get transferred not as well as the phone.
Yeah, not as well as
Yeah. You don't know if it's like a joke or sometimes like you don't know if it's how the person means it, maybe.
Or honestly, if it's the person itself, themselves.
I think that language is sort of dying in a way because of the way people type and the way they spell and the way their punctuation is off and their grammar, and nobody cares anymore if they sound okay because you're talking, you're on the internet. It's I'm just on the internet. I don't have to make sense. I don't have to spell. You don't have to be such a grammar Nazi. And the way people type and the way they write and the way they speak to each other, I think is like I said, language is kind of dying.
Do you girls agree?
Yes.
Somewhat. I mean, people could be they could be typing perfectly with the periods and everything.
But nobody does that.
Well, some people are professional at typing.
Some people, but majority aren't.
Oh,
Do you type like that?
Well, my phone corrects it.
Oh, your phone corrects it.
I don't type like that.
That could also affect...
Like the double letters?
What double
Oh, when you do you can't, TT?
Like LOLU, like when they use YU...
Abbreviations.
Especially letters as words, like YU...
Oh, yeah, sometimes.
B.
Yeah.
So we're trying to shorten the language in order to just get the information out faster.
And that could also affect homework and essays if you're typing on your computer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You get used to typing that way.
Okay. So why do you think it's so popular? Why do you girls like it? What are the positives of texting?
It's convenient.
You can be in school and you can text. You can't be on the phone. I mean, I'm not promoting it, but
Convenient.
Convenience is one of the reasons people prefer it.
Yeah.
What else?
I think people find it more awkward to talk on the phone.
Or in person.
Like, if you're texting, you can think about what you're going to say, pause for a minute, and then respond. But if you're on the phone, there are awkward pauses, and you don't know what to say.
Yeah, you can't just take your time to reply if you're on the phone.
And if you hesitate, they hear you.
I think it makes it more awkward now, texting, to talk on the phone. Not with, if I'm texting, them, it's not going to be awkward, but, if you're texting, someone that you don't really talk to, but you talk to them on text, yeah, it's normal, because if I'm on the phone with you, it's, we don't really talk that much, that it would be, easier on texting, but on the phone it would just be, okay, so what now?
How about during confrontations? Do people prefer to go through text messages than go up to the person and actually have a conversation?
Yeah. Some people, yeah.
How about you?
No.
Do you think that it's an easy way out?
It is much easier.
And how do relationships progress if you don't know how to communicate with one another except through text messages?
They don't. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't progress. So it actually hinders relationships
Yeah.
with friends, family, other relationships.
It becomes awkward, if you talk to them on text, and a little bit in person, but, it feels weird, we talk more on text than in person, so it's, when you see each other...
It's you don't really know each other.
Yeah.
It's a little awkward.
Yeah.
What are other negatives of texting?
It gets addicting.
Addicting? So it takes up your time?
I don't know, conversations can go on for days, because, but like like I respond maybe after an hour, like if I'm doing something, so I'll just go on like when it's like a 5-minute conversation.
Yeah, and how about the types of conversations?
Yeah, they started to deteriorate, like, depending on who you're talking to.
How about between guys and girls? What kind of conversations could be carried out through texting?
Depending on the relationship, of course, like, it usually tends to be more on the promiscuous side.
I know I have friends who've dealt. They find it easier to be sexually illicit on with their phones and online. It's much easier to well, sexting is a big problem, and I have friends who've had issues with sexting with their friends and their guys, and
Well, for those who are watching who don't know what sexting is, can you explain to them what the definition is?
Isn't it like a form of texting that is very, like, derogatory, like, in its content?
Okay, so one method could be the words that you're using. You could be saying sexually explicit things, but what else could it be?
Pictures.
So picture messages, right? Whether it's of your body or they're sending you pictures of themselves, right? And there are actually statistics that say that 44% of young adult women and 50% of young adult men say it is common for sexually suggestive text messages to get shared between people. 44 and 50%. And almost, or not almost, but many people I've spoken to have said that they have done or know of people in their schools who have done this. Do you guys know of people in school that have done this?
It's like, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's common, but I feel like it's like natural for them to send a picture of each other, like to each other.
How's that natural?
To each other.
Natural?
Like not natural, but like they don't think of it as, sometimes like they probably don't even think of it as sexting, like, oh, can I do, like, they'll say it in a casual way to get
Like,
a picture,
yeah.
to make it seem natural, so it's, I don't know if people in school think it's,
well, it's not really natural if they ask you to send you a naked picture.
I don't
It's
mean
not
like,
sexting if you send them a picture of you
Alright.
wearing a hat and like your regular clothing.
like, I don't know, like some girls probably think it's like, or whatever, to send an inappropriate picture, like,
Like,
of them,
it's
like,
expected.
revealing,
Like it's expected. Like, sooner or later.
How many people would you say that you know that have done this in your schools or in churches or really wherever?
10?
10 people? Okay. Maria?
I'm not really popular. I don't know many people at school. I think one only that I know of,
Okay.
but I go to a big school.
That we know of, or that, like, I don't know, I can't really give a number.
So why do you think that what do you think leads people to even send these kind of messages? If it's just degrading yourself in sending these messages, why do you think that people do it?
Perhaps self-esteem issues.
Self-esteem?
Yeah.
What about their self-esteem?
Well,
Like, if
It's,
the girl
yeah.
doesn't send it, then the guy will talk to her.
yeah.
So more for attention?
Attention.
She wants to.
Conversation on to keep it, like, just the attention or whatever.
Okay. What else?
I guess she feels like she's expected to. If she likes him and he likes her, then why not? Because they're supposed to make each other happy, or that's what she thinks, or that's what he thinks. And he could also persuade her into doing it. Oh, if you love me, you do this for me.
He wants to please.
Yeah.
She wants to please him or whatever.
They could even do it without even love or anything, just like, let me just see whatever, like,
For the heck of it.
Lustful?
it's not even for love. I'm so sure he's lazy.
What'd you say?
You can't say like, oh, I love you, show me, like, it sounds
Yeah,
weird.
it's wrong. It's not. You can't use those two words in the same sentence.
Well, for people who do have low self-esteem, if I want you to tell me I'm beautiful and I want to hear all these things, maybe I'd be more than willing to send you a picture so I can get those words.
And it's much easier through text because you're not like looking at the person, so it's not like you can look at the person in the eye and be like, you, like
Like you wouldn't see all these
sent me
things in
this.
person,
So she's hiding behind her phone. She's not actually embarrassing herself in person.
Well, if it leaks, then she will be embarrassed, but
Yeah, so let's talk about the consequences of these actions. That something as simple as texting, "Hi, how are you?" could lead to really detrimental consequences. One you mentioned is, how about if it gets spread? Even if you delete things off the internet, people can find it. You could be blackmailed, right? What other consequences?
Considered child pornography. So if you have it or if you watch it, it's illegal and you could get arrested. And we talked about this guy who could be sentenced up to 7 years in prison. 16-year-old boy who could be sentenced up to 7 years in prison for owning a picture or a copy of a picture for sending a copy of a picture of a girl.
And there's actually another boy of 17 years old in Wisconsin. He is going to be charged with possessing child pornography because he had pictures of his ex-girlfriend who was 16, and he distributed it on the internet. And all these are legal consequences. But not only legal consequences, you can face emotional, reputation, and many other types of consequences that stem from this.
it will always haunt you.
It will always haunt you.
Yeah, like your
like your record on the just internet.
Like especially with like your family.
reputation, yeah.
Me and Stephanie were talking about it. Like if it leaks and your family finds out that you've done this stuff, like if that happened, I couldn't even look my parents in the eyes for like the rest of my life. Like,
yeah, like you're so, like, to your parents, like, you're innocent, and then they trust you with the phone, like,
And just to have internet.
yeah, just expecting that you will take it as like something like for necessary like matters, and then you use it like for like this. Yeah, you abuse it to the fullest, and your reputation's ruined, and you just make yourself look.
So consequences of breaking family ties, that you're breaking your family trust and reputation and blackmail and your future job when they do background searches. All these things can be influenced by your decisions of what you send, even through simple text message.
And like the guy tends to say like, oh, okay, I promise I won't send it to anyone, but either like men, like they have pride, so they're gonna be like, oh, look what she sent me. Just even to like his closest friend, like it's gonna be linked to someone. It's 100% guarantee.
Okay, thank you, girls. I just want to read a verse from Philippians. It says, "Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things." We thank you so much for joining us today. And we ask you to just really pay attention to every single message that you send, every word that you say, and know that it has future consequences for you and your family. Thank you. Until next time.